Hello Pisces, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Pisces is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I'm merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Wow, Magician, Mercury, Trickster energy. Let's see what Hermes is up to today, shall we? We're going to put this into some context. Ooh, I see there is definitely some creation happening. Wow, and we got the chair. Oh, and we've got the Fool. Look at that. Look at all of that major arcana right here. Oh my goodness, and the Star and the Empress. Wow, I'm actually speechless with this. This is so much major arcana up here. I don't know what any of this is. I don't even really care. This is so fantastic. This is so fantastic. This is a really huge win, a huge opportunity, a very, very tremendous moment in your life. And I'm almost crying tears of joy. I think this is what we've been working toward, right? Every reading for Pisces seems like it's building on something, that we're working towards something. We're getting some setbacks, but we just keep pushing through. We have this divine mission. You know, there's something you haven't given up. You haven't given up on anything, and it's paying off. We are achieving everything now. This is, let's select the mystery card. I gotta try to pull it together. Stay on track here. One card randomly from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And this is going to be set aside here. Frog, friend on top. And that card will, hopefully with any luck, tie everything together. Give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. Yeah. Not that we need much of a confirmation. I think this whole reading is the confirmation. So anyway, we have major, a lot of majors. We've got some fire. I don't really have any water, but there's some water in these cards a little bit, right? We have the Cancer, Chariot energy, that's some water. We've got the Empress energy, well, kind of some Venus energy, it's kind of watery there. We have this Star card, which is Aquarius, it is air, technically, but there's a lot of water in that. It's the water bearer, right? It is bringing that, the holy water into our lives. We have a little bit of air, but see, the Swords energy is kind of in the past. This is what we're getting rid of. This was yesterday's news. These were all the difficulties that we'd already been through. This was the setbacks that I talked about from, readings past. And this is the Earth energy. This is what is, we have a very strong foundation, this kind of natural creative process, very successful. We're on solid ground here. All of this spiritual energy is finding a very stable and solid home. And to me, there's been no better reading than this. Honestly, this is my best reading. I don't think I could do any better than this. This might be my last reading, It feels like this is the grand finale. You know what I mean? We start with the Mercury energy. I could just do one reading with this card. This is perfect. This is you being the absolutely perfect conduit to spirit. You have the most perfect connection to source. The message is coming in loud and clear, and you're able to transmit it perfectly with no loss of signal, right? No garbage, no static. It's a crystal clear transmission. Well, transmission from the Star, I think. I think that you are very psychically sensitive person. Maybe you don't even realize it, though you probably do. Kind of reminds me of The Office, where it's just like Ryan is so money that he doesn't know that he's money, but yet he does know. I kind of feel like that. I feel like you are just so charged by this spiritual energy that it is just radiating from you. And I think it makes you a bit of a sensitive antenna. You know, I think a lot of stuff is coming in, and it's really important for you to filter it. It could be overwhelming, the amount of spiritual energy that is coming in, the amount of messages. You probably are a very psychically sensitive person. I can't imagine that you aren't aware of it. But as far as you using it, the devil energy is what's getting me right now, because this is showing a lot of ambition, a lot of creativity in the earth kind of element, right? I think the devil card really should be down here with this other earth energy, because this is all of this struggle. This is the absolute dedication and the endurance that it took for you to build this foundation. You started with kind of nothing. You started from the bottom. Now you're here, right? It took a lot for you to get here. And you really had to work hard day and night. You never gave up. This devil energy doesn't give up. You put a mountain in front of it. The goat will continue to climb until it gets to the top, doesn't care. And that's, I think, the energy it took for you to go from the beginning to this perfect, beautiful harmony, this plateau that you're on now. Maybe we're not done climbing. Maybe that's not the top of the mountain. The Six of Pentacles usually isn't the very top. But this is a very nice place to build a home, right? Very nice place to stay for a while. And I think that is you're on the plateau with arms open, welcoming this divine energy. And now back to the Magician. You're very psychically sensitive. There is a lot coming in, and I think that maybe that's a reason for this. The Ten of Swords here. Maybe this was a lot of the messages coming in. And we're finding a way to kind of filter it a little bit. We can't have all of that. This is just too much static. This is too many messages coming in all at once that we can't ever really get an accurate thing through. You know, this is too much at once that we can't make sense of any one particular message. So we have to do something. We have to filter some of this energy through. And it's weird because we have all of this static over here, and then there's just kind of free and clear airwaves over here with the Fool energy. So maybe the psychic sensitivity, this Mercury energy, maybe this is part of our filter. Maybe we're using some of this devil energy to filter, and maybe the Chariot too, all of the divine energy, really. Maybe we're using some of that to filter. Maybe it's being filtered through this earth energy in order to really get this free and clear, the free and clear airwaves here. This is a lot of static. This is a very clear signal. God, I really could just keep talking about the Magician energy. I feel like this is, just look at, if you can see the smile, the subtle smirk on the face there. It's like you know how good this is. You know what kind of an experience this is. And you feel so connected with Source right now. As far as your psychic energies go, you're probably experiencing a lot of that still. Probably a lot of synchronicities going on in your life. There could be something with a particular Cancer person in your life. We do have the Chariot up here. This is the Cancer energy. So I wonder if there is maybe a connection with a Cancer person in your life that is particularly important to what you're building on the earth plane, on the physical plane. I think a lot of strange events take place around you. I think that you maybe even have a bit of a telekinetic ability. I get this feeling like when you're in the room, sometimes light bulbs will light up, or objects even might move a little bit in a weird way with you. I feel like you have a lot of that invisible connection with the earth energy, and not that you can levitate objects or anything, but I feel as if when you walk into a room, everyone and everything in that room can feel your presence, right? They feel moved by you being there. And I'm not trying to just, pump up your ego or anything. The devil energy does have to kind of think about that a little bit, though, especially with the Mercury energy and that little smirk. Let's keep the ego in check. I think we're doing that very well with this Three of Wands here. We're staying connected with our primary mission, right? It's time for us to be righteous, right? In the right kind of way. It's not spiritual pride. It is a sense of responsibility and focus. This is part of the filter, I think, that is pushing us on the right track. Anyway, I can't talk about Mercury enough. I love the Magus Magician card, especially with that devil energy. There is infinite potential of what you're creating, and it's mainly a way for us to filter through some of this psychic information, some of this psychic energy, so that you can commit to the right path and start manifesting this energy in the natural world with this Empress energy at the end, okay? We talked about the Ten of Swords. I'm going to try to speed through this a little bit because there's a lot going on. The Ten of Swords, this was all the difficulty in the past as well. This was the kind of static or interference that we may have met in the world because we didn't quite understand the message, right? So we need that sense of clarity. We have that Magus. That is the clarity. That is really carrying the message from Spirit, that we can read the message now, so we're not too worried about this anymore. We do have the Chariot energy up at the top. I think that this is a message that you are now tasked with bringing to the world, right? I kind of get this idea of you're traveling around giving lectures, giving this wisdom out, spreading the good word, whatever you're doing in your life, whatever you are building, whatever that Empress is at the end, it involves you traveling. I definitely see travel in your future. Traveling with this message, though. It's not a vacation, right? Traveling with this holy grail, with this wisdom, with the spiritual truth that you've discovered, with this divine energy. You're carrying it with you to different places to spread the word, to maybe it is a lecture circuit. Maybe you are a teacher of some kind. I almost get the vibe of like a healing kind of energy, though. That maybe you're doing energy work, maybe Reiki, maybe some kind of energy, transformation, energy healing of that sort. Maybe a physical healer too, right? Maybe this is kind of a Doctors Without Borders kind of thing, because I do get this sense of international travel with this spiritual message, this spiritual energy, but there's this implication of healing too. Hermes, Mercury, is the lord of science, knowledge, wisdom, healing, right? The healing arts. And then, of course, we have this very healing Empress energy here, the very healing star energy. Even the Chariot, the Cancer energy is very healing, right? And then, of course, we have the Ace of Discs to the Six of Discs. This shows a healing. This shows an overcoming. This shows a victory. This shows the beginning and the triumph of over all of the difficulties, right? We started and we succeeded. So I'm very interested in what your journey is and how all of this divine energy is manifesting. The Fool is also a card about freedom, about travel, about transcending. Maybe we're staying home. Maybe this is more of a spiritual transcendence. Maybe it is more of a spiritual traveling. I feel like there is a physical component here, though, too. Okay. The Fool is kind of free to go where the Spirit takes them, right? Wherever the Spirit may take you, wherever the wind blows, right? So this is a very clear energy. It's very peaceful. It's weightless. There's no gravity here. It just feels very blissful right now. And this, to me, it really opens up the possibilities for you. Maybe we're not quite sure how we're carrying this message forward, right? We've understood the message. We've gotten through the difficulties. We know it's something about spreading the knowledge, the wisdom, the healing, the energy, but maybe we haven't really picked a direction yet. Maybe we don't know exactly where this Fool is going. Now, it could be that we are just wanting to experience this bliss for a while. Maybe we're just going to close our eyes and trust in the universe to see where we end up. Yeah. I like these two together. We have the Fool and the Sage, right? And sometimes we don't know which is which, right? We don't know which is the Fool and which is the Sage. Is the Fool the one that has this single concentrated path? I know exactly what I want. Is that the Sage or is that the Fool? Is the Sage the one that says, I'm not going to pick just one single path in life. I'm going to be spontaneous. I'm going to let the Spirit guide me down any one road. If I change directions, that's totally fine. Or is that foolish? It's the idea of going to university. Do you pick a major or do you just kind of see what happens? There's an argument to be made for both sides. I think it's interesting that you have both sides. You have a very clear and concentrated idea of what you want and where to go, but at the same time, you're allowing things to happen spontaneously, naturally, going with the flow. Not being upset if things don't quite go the magician's way. It's like a magician is on stage doing these planned, illusions, this planned performance, but if something unexpected happens, it doesn't ruin the whole show, they can adapt. They can roll with it, right? It's like when the cat jumps on my table and I try to keep the reading going and I feel like it's a disaster and it's just, try to roll with it, And I feel like you have the best of both of these energies. You really got some good cards today. That's an understatement. But we're moving to the path of the Serpent now, and we've got this Ace of Pentacles here. This is kind of showing that there's a need now. We're looking at this like it's the beginning of a new path. The work that we've done over here, we've attained that. We have gotten what we were looking for. We've had this kind of enlightening, this kind of supercharged spiritual energy. And now it's time for the next phase of our work. And this is the phase of really committing to our work and spreading this loving, healing energy out into the natural world. Could be something with pets, with plants, with people. But we're receiving this divine light and we're not hoarding it. We're not keeping it for ourselves. We're channeling it. We're releasing it into the world. We are just the conduit. We are just the messenger, I guess, right? But it feels like more than a message. It feels like a real healing that you're doing. There's a hands-on component here. Okay, but it is time for us to figure out what the next move is, right? I think that we've achieved this particular plateau where we've received all of this spiritual download, this information. Now it's time to continue the work. And we've got to pick We've got to pick a path. I think it's time to commit ourselves to a particular road for now. We still have the fool and the sage in us to keep us adaptable, to keep us focused, but to also allow us the flexibility to adapt to the changing circumstances, the changing environment. What doesn't change is your connection with Spirit. What doesn't change is your integrity, your character, your values. Okay? That's the 3. So it's time to begin the next phase of our journey. It's time to be flexible and adaptive to any kind of change in the circumstances or in the environment. It's time to take the show on the road. Be ready and willing to deal with any variables, but we stay true to our path and to our purpose. Then we've got that star energy, the water bear. We're receiving that holy water, and we are expressing it out as accurately as we can. Of course, it's being filtered through our minds and bodies, our personality, right? Through our self. We're trying to do an accurate a job as possible, kind of translating this energy. But I feel like this is the card it's in the position of what you don't want, okay? This card. I feel like we don't want to be the filter. We don't want to have to translate the energy, right? We wish that it could just be expressed as the pure, divine electricity that it is. We don't want to have to put it into a language or put it into an action or put it into some kind of words or, you know what I mean? We don't want to filter it through our personality. And understand, there's always something lost in translation, right? That's kind of that's the point here, is that it's going to be transformed a little bit based on who you are, based on your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, your personality, all that stuff. That's something that we don't want. We wish there could just be a pure transmission, a pure expression of this energy. But it's coming through you, and I think that's something that we need to accept, that this is going to be expressed in your unique way. Well, that's the beauty of it, right? That's what makes this so special. Anyone could probably learn to be that kind of a pure antenna, a receiver of that spiritual energy. But what makes this so special is how you are manifesting it and how it is going to look a little bit like you, It's going to be colored with your paints, with your brushes. Yeah. That's what makes genius so genius, is that every expression of it is so different. It is so unique. So whatever you're doing, you are putting yourself into it too. It's not just a pure expression of the divine energy or of the spirit. It's also you. It's coming through you, right? So you have to remember that you're important too, right? You're not disposable. You're very necessary in this process. I'm very interested in what you're doing. There is this kind of hands-on component. There is something to do with the natural world. I feel like it's some kind of healing, in some way. Maybe not directly, maybe it's more indirect. But wow, you've got some good energy right now. You really do. Let's look at the mystery card, yeah? Thank you, Frog Friend, for your assistance with our mystery card. I don't have an idea of what this should be. I feel like we have literally everything we need. I don't want to venture a guess. I don't want to do it. I'm just going to flip it over and see what it is. Well, of course. Of course it's the world or the universe, right? Because this is what we're talking about. We're talking about this kind of universe, this divine energy, this spiritual energy that is being manifested in the world. Right? This is the exact confirmation that what you are transmitting, you're transmitting this starlight to Earth, and that you are expressing that. You are giving a voice to that universal energy, that spirit. This is the perfect confirmation card. You're right where you need to be. This is tremendous. I'm very much overwhelmed by all of this energy. Can't believe how many major arcana cards we have. I don't want this reading to be, like a 3-hour reading, so we're gonna have to end it at some point. But I just love looking at all of these major arcana. It's gonna put everything back where it was so we can just kind of enjoy it. And the world here, this really shows me that, again, it reinforces the idea of travel. Again, this also reinforces to me the idea of the Fool, this kind of idea of not being restricted, right? That the world is your oyster. There are no boundaries. The universe is infinite. And any road that we take is going to be the right road. All roads lead to, this divine energy, this manifestation, this work that you're doing. So many indications of travel here. I would be very surprised if there wasn't some element of travel in your life right now or coming very soon as part of this work that you're doing. Yeah. Anyway, we should get on to the extended reading. Just click in the corner if you'd like to join me for the extended. New readings come out every day at 6 a.m. Chicago time. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more readings. Okay. I want to thank you so much for being here. Truly, thank you for allowing me the honor of reading these cards for you, and I'll see you again very soon.